If you're thinking about being a YouTuber, do it. If you're thinking about being a content creator on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, do it. I'm going to take a wild guess that you haven't started yet because you're too worried about what people may think or say of you. And I'm not going to lie, that was me in the beginning. Like, I was so worried about what other people was going to have to say about me that I kind of got discouraged. But let me tell you something, when I got my first check, all that went out the window. I didn't give a damn what anybody thought about me at that point because they weren't paying my bills. And I'm going to be sharing some of the things that I noticed that discourages a lot of people when it comes to creating content. And then I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to overcome that and what has worked for me in order to grow my platforms over the year. What I do want to say is do not allow people to discourage you from being the best version of yourself. Do not allow people to hinder you from chasing your dreams, okay? Because you are capable and you are able to do exactly what it is that you desire. And however you desire it to turn out, baby, is how it's going to be in your life. So you need to manifest greatness because a negative mindset does not land you a positive life. You need to get the negativity up off of you. Put God first, number one. Believe there is a God. Have the faith that He can, all things are possible through Him. He can change whatever circumstance you are in. And baby, with that being said, let's go ahead and hop straight into the video. Because me personally, I don't understand why people gatekeep. Well, I understand it, but I don't agree with it. A lot of people gatekeep and don't want to fill y'all in and spill the tea on how to be successful and be in the same rooms as them. Is because it's simply that they don't want you in the same rooms as them. They don't want you living that luxury lifestyle that you desire to have. They always want to feel like they're above you in a sense. So you have to take that with a grain of salt, and you have to understand that the enemy is here to kill, steal, and destroy. And the moment that you set out to try and better yourself and be successful, that's when the enemy is going to attack. And then that's when you need to armor up, double down, and come ready. Period. So with that being said, I want you to take every bit of advice that I give you in this video and I want you to apply it to your life because there's going to be no gatekeeping. There's going to be no secrets being held. I'm going to be telling you guys the things that have been working for me and pray to God that it helps you and works for you as well. Amen. Amen. All right, so the first thing that I noticed that discourages a lot of people when they want to start content creation or doing YouTube is the fact that they don't know what type of equipment that they need. Let me tell you something. The only type of equipment that I've been using since day one, starting out on YouTube, which I started back in 2013, I want to say, was a cell phone. All you need is a phone that can record. So make sure you got some storage, okay? That's all you need is a phone and maybe a ring light. Maybe a ring light so your lighting can be good. But even if you don't get that, just sit near a window with some good lighting, sit in your car, somewhere that people can see you, okay? The second thing that I notice discourages a lot of people when they want to start out creating content is the fact that they're afraid of what other people may think of them. And this can come in the form of you wanting to speak about a topic, but you feeling like you don't have that much knowledge in it, or you're afraid how it's going to come out. People may not understand what it is you're trying to say. And let me tell you something. As content creators, I feel like we all have that. Like, we all have that to worry about, especially when you're running your platform by yourself. Like, a lot of these higher up content creators, they have like managers and people to run their pages and say certain things and not certain things. They know what works for them. When you're starting off by yourself, it is a little discouraging. However, I do want to state that you just need to be yourself. Like, I don't care how it comes out. You can get on here, you can say whatever it is you want to say. You know why? Because you have freedom of speech, okay? That's number one. For two, there's so many other content creators out here that have gotten on this internet and said some wild, crazy things, honey, and we made them the next celebrity. So it's just like you can't really focus on what other people are going to think of you. You have to say what's on your mind. Speak how you feel, okay? Because I know for me personally, I be getting on here saying some wild stuff and people be looking at me like, girl, you crazy. Like, these people out here laughing at you. But guess what? I'm laughing to the bank, so I could care less. Like, this is who I am. Nobody could ever make me feel bad for being who it is that I am. And I want you to take that same advice and like get that negative spirit up off of you. Like, if that's who you are, sis, if that's the topic you want to talk about, speak on it, okay? The third thing that I realize discourages a lot of people from creating content is the fact that they believe they're not qualified or they don't look a certain type of way. They feel like their house has to be these really high ceilings, or everything is just so aesthetic and pleasing, and their hair has to be laid, clothes have to be designer. They have to have the latest everything. Baby, that is not true. You see me, you see how I'm recording, you see that patched up hole back there in the wall? Yeah, that's a whole nother story time. We're still fixing, we're working on that. But listen, your house does not have to look a certain type of way. You hear my smoke detector is going off, honey. I haven't changed my batteries in like 3 months. I'm not worried about what other people are thinking about how I'm living. I don't have anything to prove. And I feel like that's something that's extremely important for you to be into your mental, is the fact that you don't have anything to prove to anybody, and that we all have to start somewhere. Like all of these higher up content creators that you see in these Lambos and mansions, honey, they started somewhere. And just because you feel like you're not there yet doesn't mean that you can't get there. So yes, just keep that in mind, that you do not have to look like the next person in order to be a content creator. Is this number 4 or number 5? I don't know. The next thing that I noticed that discourages a lot of people from not being a content creator is the fact that they don't get a lot of views. Let me tell you something. Your view count can definitely be very discouraging, because it has happened to me plenty of times. I have X amount of followers, and sometimes I'm just like, the views is just not matching up or whatever the case. But I never allow that to stop me. Like, when it comes to being a content creator, you have to be consistent. And I know you hear that a lot of the times, but they're not breaking it down for you. They're not telling you that even when your videos are getting 2 to 3 to 4 to 12 views, you need to still show up the next day. Like, it doesn't matter. That 1 or 2 viewers, they're still watching you. It's always going to be somebody out there that is paying attention to you, somebody that you're inspiring. You just need to take that with a grain of salt and just understand that, bigger and better will come. Like, people will gravitate towards you eventually. You just have to be consistent, because it's like you can't just post 1 or 2 videos and expect people to just love you. It's like they have to know what you about. They have to hear you speak. They have to, hear your mindset, hear the things that you got to say. So it's like, just because one video didn't do well doesn't mean that the next one won't. Keep posting, sis. Don't allow other people's negativity to consume you, because it's like people are going to try to stop you. That's what the enemy is here to do: kill, steal, and destroy, honey. And they're going to do just that. The moment somebody sees you taking the steps to better yourself, the ultimate goal is to stop you. So if you allow 2 or 3 viewers to stop you, you crazy. Those are views, honey. Even if you get no views, keep going. Find something else to talk about. It's like when they say be consistent, that's what they mean. Don't worry about the view count, because, honey, the more you're being yourself, the more you're putting yourself out there into the world, the better chance that there is for people to see you, people to hear you. All right, so now that you're aware of how to overcome being discouraged, and we're past that point, you're ready to sit down, make your video, and get it out there. My first piece of advice to you will be to make sure that you upload using Reels. I cannot stress this enough. People do not understand the importance of posting Reels. Reels is the #1 way that your content is going to be pushed out into the world. I don't see it any other way. I literally see people just post to their stories daily, not even realizing that the only people that see those stories are the people that follow you. Nobody else. It's not necessarily going to go through the algorithm the way that it should if you was to post a reel instead, if that makes any sense. So for me personally, I noticed that when I post reels on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, they all do well. Now, my videos on YouTube don't necessarily always do well. I have a better chance at gaining more subscribers posting YouTube shorts than I have been posting regular videos. And that's still a great thing, because your content is still getting out there and they're able to, find your page that way. So again, when you go to decide that you're ready to post your first video, make sure it's a reel, okay? Now, although I'm saying that Reels is the best way to get your videos out there, it's not the only way for YouTube. When you post YouTube shorts, you also want to make sure that you're also posting long form content as well, because when you get monetized, that's how you're going to get paid. If you stop this video and you pause and you go to another video, I want you to pay attention to the duration and how long that these YouTubers are making their videos. Most of the time, you'll see they'll either stop at that 10-minute mark, or they'll surpass that, because they're already to the point of generating revenue and they know what works for them. Let me tell you something. When that video finally takes off and it's over 10 minutes long, you're going to see what I'm talking about. So when you're posting long form content, I noticed that if it's not getting a lot of views, the best thing you can do is to take clips of that same video and make it into little shorts, just so people can get like little sneak peeks of what it is that your video is about. And that has been working for me. The next piece of advice that I have for you is to start off somewhere like TikTok. And the reason why I say that is because that's how my platforms blew up, is through TikTok. It's really easy to gain an audience through TikTok. People are constantly on the app, so they're constantly seeing your stuff. I feel like Instagram is a little more bougie. Like, people are still going to see your stuff, but it's still like, you got to have some type of direction coming into Instagram. So a lot of my TikTok followers actually went over to my Instagram. That's how my Instagram blew up. Personally, I feel like that's the hardest platform to grow on. One of the biggest things that I noticed when it comes to content creators making these sit down videos for you guys and trying to put you on to, how to get started, is the fact that they're talking to you, but they're not necessarily giving you direction. Like, they're telling you how to do it, but not really what it is they did, if that makes any sense. And I cannot stand those type of videos. Like, I cannot stand sitting down watching a 15-minute long video just for the person to get to the end and say something like, buy my course, or yeah, just be consistent. Like, no, break it down, dummy term, no offense. Like, I don't think that people realize how much it takes for other people to actually get into the swing and the motion of things. It's like, not everybody is driven the same kind of way. So what I'm trying to break down in this video for you guys is that I understand the lack of motivation sometimes, what it feels like to be discouraged. I understand what it feels like to worry about what other people are going to think of you. But I also know that if you don't ever start, how will you ever go anywhere? So it's like, you got to put your foot to that pedal and just go. Just go, you guys. And I specifically remember this one YouTuber here. I believe his name is David. I don't want to mess up his last name. I want to say Owens, but I may be wrong. Somebody correct me down in the comments, because you may know who I'm talking about. He stated that it doesn't matter how much knowledge you drop, most people aren't going to apply it anyway. And I felt like that was like the bold face, honest truth. Like, it hurts to know that that's the truth. Like, you can literally put a roadmap down in front of somebody's face and they still will ask for directions. It's a lot of people out here feel like they have to gatekeep, but for the ones who are even telling us what to do and the direction to go, we still aren't listening. The truth hurts, but don't let that be you. So again, we're going to summarize what it is that you should have done up until this point, which is, for one, put God first, believe that he is capable. For two, stop allowing other people to consume you with their negative energy and placing fears into your heart. Number three, get your cell phone out, make sure you got some storage, and start recording with some good lighting and make sure that people can hear you. Number four, you want to make sure that you utilize Reels, because that's how your content is going to get pushed out there into a larger audience. Number five, you want to make sure that you're not focusing on the money. Now, I didn't really go into this part of it because I didn't really want to speak on the monetization side of things, because I know that's just another ways for someone to get discouraged. But I feel like it's really extremely important for you guys to not go into this content creation thing for the money at first, because it's going to take longer for it to come. Trust me, I know. The moment you let go and you let God, that's when your blessings will start to unravel. And believe me when I say, focus more on the content that you're actually putting out there than your numbers. You need to do just that. My biggest number one piece of advice that I have for you, and it kind of relates back to what David said, it doesn't matter how much knowledge you put out there for the world to use, people are barely going to use it anyway. I want you guys to go on YouTube right now, because we all know YouTube is a large search engine just like Google. And I want you to type in how to, and click the first thing that comes up. And I want you to scroll through the videos and look at the amount of views that were targeted in that video, how many people actually clicked to watch that video. But take that same how to and apply it to your channel. If you're thinking about a topic because you don't know what to speak about, baby, the best thing for you to put out here on this platform on YouTube is to teach people how to do whatever it is that they do not know how to already do. YouTube is pretty much a large search engine just like Google. I don't know if I already stated that. So you need to think about other people's problems and how you can be a solution for that. Or even sit down, get a piece of paper and a pen and write down all the things that you are good at doing, whether it's babysitting, raising kids, cooking, cleaning, folding clothes. Because we all know I done seen a plenty of videos where I've been folding clothes wrong all my life. There's always something that you can teach the next person that could possibly benefit them, whether that's bringing them closer to God, preaching the word. Baby, figure out what it is and put it out there, but just make sure that you're pushing people in a better direction, because we are all out here struggling. We are all out here looking for a way to the top. And so the best thing for you to do is to put somebody else on, because baby, that's how you're going to make it. That's what the Lord wants you to do. Gather his people, love them, and treat them as your own. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. I want to thank you guys so much for clicking to watch. I really hope this helps somebody. If it does, leave a comment down in the comment box. Give this video a big thumbs up. And until next time, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.